I always thought betrayal would come with warning signs, raised voices, cold stares, a gradual drifting apart. I thought I'd feel it creeping in like a chill before a storm. But it didn't happen like that. It was quiet, subtle. And when the knife finally sank in, it wasn't in my back. It was right in my heart. There were 4 of us. Me, Tara, Nia, and Liv. Since middle school, we were inseparable. It's a kind of friendship that felt more like family than anything blood could offer. We had codes, inside jokes that spanned years, sleepovers that lasted entire weekends, and promises so. Many promises that we'd always be there for one another. Through high school heartbreaks, broken homes, mental breakdowns, we stuck together. We had each other's backs. At least, that's what I thought. It started with something small, little shifts in the air, a pause too long after a joke, a glance exchanged when they thought I wasn't looking. I brushed it off. We were adults. Now life was busy. People changed. But deep down I felt it. Something wasn't right. Tara was the glue. Loud, magnetic, reckless in the way people couldn't help but admire. Liv was the peacemaker. Soft-spoken, gentle, the one who remembered birthdays and made tea when any of us cried. Nia was fire, sharp-tongued, fiercely loyal or so I believed. In me. I was the quiet one, the listener, the one who always checked in, always forgave, always believed the best in everyone. Even when I probably shouldn't have. We had a group chat, ride or die. Ironic now. Messages used to pour in at all hours, memes, voice notes, weekend plans. But suddenly, things slowed. I started noticing conversations that had clearly already happened, jokes I didn't get, references I'd missed. Wait, when did that happen? I asked once, after Tara mentioned a night out. Oh, it was just spontaneous, she said too. Quickly didn't think you'd be free, told myself not to overthink, but then it happened again and again. Slowly I began feeling like a guest in my own circle. It all came to a head at Tara's birthday party. A weekend getaway at a lake house her boyfriend had rented. Everyone was invited. Old friends, college roommates, her new work crowd. I hesitated before RSVPing, unsure if I'd feel welcome, but Naya insisted. Don't be stupid, she said over the phone. Of course you have to come. You're one of us. I clung to that, reassured myself that whatever distance I was feeling was just in my head. But when I got there, something felt off immediately. The others had already arrived. The rooms were assigned. Mine, apparently, was the pull-out couch in the den. Everyone else had paired off. No big deal, I told myself, trying to smile through it. I'm here for Tara. The first night was fine, mostly. Drinks flowed, music blasted, laughter echoed. I laughed too, tried to blend into the group, even though I noticed the way conversations stopped when I entered a room, the way Nia avoided eye contact, the way Liv smiled, but it didn't quite reach her eyes. On the second night, things spiraled. We were sitting around the fire pit, marshmallows roasting, half the group already tipsy. Tara was telling some ridiculous story about her ex, and everyone was cackling. I laughed along, genuinely, for the first time all weekend, and then someone, Nick, maybe, asked, so, what's the most scandalous thing you've ever kept from a friend? It was a stupid question, clearly meant to stir the pot. But Tara's eyes flicked over to Nia, and something unspoken passed between them. My stomach dropped. Nia sipped her drink and smirked. Depends. What counts as scandalous? Like betrayal level, someone said. Sleeping with someone's boyfriend, another added. More laughter. Tara leaned forward, her voice syrupy. Nia wins that. One, I froze. The air tightened. Nia's smile didn't fade. Oops, she said, not even pretending to be coy. Old news? There was a moment of stunned silence, then the group broke into awkward laughs, unsure if it was a joke or not. I looked between them, my mouth dry. What's going on? I asked, trying to keep my voice light. Tara waved her hand dismissively. Nothing, Grush. Just dumb games. but Liv looked sick. Her eyes flicked to me, then away. I didn't sleep that night. Something was boiling under the surface. And I couldn't shake the feeling it had everything to do with me. My mind raced, dredging up every memory, every late-night text, every gut. Feeling I'd ignored the next morning, I confronted Nia. We were in the kitchen alone. I cornered her near the coffee pot. "Did you sleep with someone's boyfriend?" I asked bluntly. She didn't even flinch. Is this an interrogation? Nia, was it mine? Her eyes held mine for just a moment too long. I felt it then. The answer, the truth settling over me like a second skin. "Why?" My voice cracked. "When?" She sighed and leaned against the counter, like this was some exhausting drama she'd rather not be in. "It was months ago." A break. He came to a party. Things happened. "I didn't mean for it to, don't," I snapped. "Don't insult me with that excuse. We didn't plan it. It just happened." Tears pricked at my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. And the others knew. I looked away. That was answer enough. I left that day. Packed my things in a daze while Tara and her boyfriend laughed in the living room like nothing had happened. Liv stood in the hallway, silent, her eyes full of apology she didn't dare voice. Not out loud, not where Tara might hear. I drove 3 hours home in silence. No music, no podcasts, just the sound of my own heart breaking. Later that night I checked my phone. The group chat was silent. No one had messaged to check in. Tara. Not Nia. Not even Liv. I opened Instagram. No. Tara had posted a photo, everyone smiling around the fire pit. Caption, "Real ones only." I stared at the screen until the letters blurred. Real ones only. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't one of them anymore. Maybe I never really was. They had each other's backs, but not mine. As one of us had a knife. And now I was bleeding. The days that followed felt like floating underwater. Every memory of us, every picture, every late-night phone call and whispered secret played like echoes through my mind. I kept asking myself, how long had they been pretending? I become the outsider in my own inner circle. I thought we were unbreakable. I didn't tell anyone for days. Not my family, not my coworkers. I just disappeared inward. I skipped texts, ignored calls. I went to work, smiled when needed, and then came home and let the silence swallow me. What haunted me the most wasn't even the betrayal itself, it was the ease of it, the way Nia said. It just happened. Like I was supposed to understand. Like my pain was an overreaction, no apology, no guilt, just oops. I started replaying old messages, scanning photos for signs. There they were, a hand too close to his eyes, meeting across a room. Little details I missed before. Were they laughing at me behind my back? Was I just the quiet one? The easy one? The one they knew would never fight back? That Monday, Liv texted, me.live, "Hey, can we talk?" I stared at the message for a long time. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. I wanted to scream, to ask her why she didn't say something. Why she stood there and let me feel like I was going insane. But all I wrote was, "Talk about what?" She replied instantly, "Liv." I didn't know what to do. Wanted to tell you, I swear I did, but you didn't. She sent a voice note. I didn't even listen. I deleted it before it finished downloading. Her silence at that cabin spoke louder than anything she could say now. Later that week, I ran into Nia. It was at the coffee shop we used to love. I hadn't seen her name on the order list, or I wouldn't have gone in. There she was, laughing at something the barista said, like nothing had changed. Like she hadn't stabbed me and walked away. Our eyes met. And for the first time, I saw fear in hers. She walked toward me slowly. "Can we talk?" I didn't answer. "Please," she said. "You're my best friend." My laugh came out bitter. "You don't miss me. You miss the version of me who didn't know." She winced. "I didn't mean for it to go that far. I was drunk. He was too." "I just stopped saying that," I said sharply. "You weren't drunk. When you hid it for months, you weren't drunk when you smiled at me every day and said nothing. You chose this." Her eyes filled with tears. "I made a mistake." "No," I said. "A mistake is forgetting a birthday. A mistake is spilling a secret accidentally."
What?
"You did? That's not a mistake. That's a choice. Over and over. She looked away, wiping her face. Are you really going to throw away 10 years of friendship? I stared at her, and then I said the words I never thought I'd say to someone. I loved you already did. Walked out before she could respond. I went home and cried. Not just because of what they did, but because I had finally said goodbye to the version of me that thought friendship was unconditional, and thought love and loyalty were enough. A few nights later, I got a text from Tara. Tara, you're being dramatic. Nia feels terrible. We all make mistakes. There it was. That same tone, that same dismissal, like I was an over-emotional storm cloud ruining their sunshine. Me, you know what's dramatic? Laughing about it at a party, keeping me around like a joke. It's dramatic, she replied. You're choosing to be angry. No, I thought. I'm choosing to heal. I blocked her. One by one, I blocked them all. I started journaling again. Something I hadn't done since college. Poured everything into those pages. My anger, my heartbreak, my confusion. Slowly, I began to see something that hadn't been clear before. I had outgrown them long ago. They hadn't changed suddenly. I just finally stopped ignoring who they really were. What hurt the most was realizing that the version of us I had held on to so tightly was mostly a fantasy I created. I romanticized the bond because I needed to believe in it. I needed to believe that someone had my back the way I had theirs. But friendship isn't about who's known you longest. It's about who stands with you when it matters, who chooses honesty over comfort, who tells you hard truths even when it's messy. That wasn't them, not anymore. One day I passed by a photo of the four of us on my bookshelf. A snapshot from our high school graduation. We looked so young, so sure of each other. I picked it up, stared at it, and instead of crying, I smiled. Not because I forgave them. Not yet, maybe not ever. But because that girl in the photo, my she, deserved better. And for the first time in a long time, I was giving her that. I started reaching out to new people. I rebuilt. It was slow, clumsy, scary. I didn't trust easily. But eventually I found real friends. The kind who didn't flinch when I shared my scars. The kind who never made me feel like a burden for being honest. Sometimes I still think about them. Tara, Nia, Liv. I wonder if they ever think about me. If they regret it, if they scroll past my posts and feel anything at all. But then I remember, thought my friends had each other's backs, until I realized one of us had a knife, and the others just watched me bleed. So now, I carry my own bandages. I hold my own back, and I keep my circle sharp enough to cut through lies, because I'd rather walk alone in truth than be surrounded by smiles that hide knives.